Yo, what's going on, guys? Ego Talks More. We're back again with another video. No excuses. We have to talk about what just happened in the game versus Villa. Plus, we got a big Champions League game. We got to talk about rotation, what type of team we're going to play. Plus, looking forward to the next 5 games until the end of the year. And just talking a little bit about the title race and everything else going around Arsenal. There seems to be a lot of conversations around Odegaard and other players, but we need to just speak about what's real and what's just football agendas online, because there's a lot of agendas and then there's a lot of real talks that we need to have conversations about. But before we go any further, I got Dylan in the building. In case you haven't seen, Dylan's been all over the place. You're doing the Canon Pod, of course. You're doing your own YouTube channel also.
Just started my own channel, same handle as all my other socials. AFC Dylan on YouTube. Just started on there. Match reactions, going to do match previews for the big 6 games, and then a lot better things coming probably next season.
And you got to do your match day vlogs, bro, on there too, of course.
Not doing that on YouTube, but I'm going to do other types of match day vlogs on YouTube for other stuff. But that will come next season.
First. Okay, and then we got Saad in the building. Of course, you guys already know Saad has his own channel, and of course we always see him on Hussam and never. And why did I say never? I mean Hussam and the Football Terrace.
Yeah, man. Big up, bro. Listen, man. Good to be back. Do you know what I mean? Unfortunate circumstances, but we moved. Do you know what I mean? We're here, man. We're here to discuss what's going on.
We don't need to gather after every single win, but when there's something to talk about that's massive, we need to talk about it. Before we go on to the Aston Villa results and everything else, going into the game, what was your mood like, guys? Because for me, going into the Villa game, I was very pessimistic, and you know me, I'm a very optimistic fan. I'm somebody who always looks at the glass half full, but I was very worried going into the game. I seen Villa's record at home. Only lost one game out of their last 30. The fact that if they're down or if they need a goal, they have the most goals off the bench, and it's just like Unai Emery's record against us recently, Aston Villa's record against us. We're going there without our best defenders. I was just very apprehensive and I don't know if that's even the right word, but I was very cautious going into the game with my predictions. I was hopeful we would win, but I was kind of I was saying 2-1, but I didn't know if it'd be a draw or a win. But to end up losing in the manner that we did, I was not really too surprised based on the run of the performance.
I know what you're saying. I know what you mean in terms of you weren't surprised, but the way I looked at it is that I know you mentioned Villa's home form over the last year and how they haven't really lost any games at home. We were the last team to beat them at home, so that wasn't anything that concerned me. Like we're the best team, if not the best team. We're one of the best teams, if not the best team on the planet. And I thought it'd be different when we come to town. The issue that we had is that we turned up without our main defence, and a defence is a huge part of the way we play, not just in terms of not conceding goals, but also in terms of the confidence it gives the attackers and the midfielders. I think playing without William Saliba and Gabriel, you know what I mean? It's a whole different game. I think that's a 1 or 2-0 to the Arsenal with those two playing.
Yeah, it was. Listen, I think for me, when leading up to the game, I was definitely a bit nervous. The thing is with Unai Emery, yeah, for some weird reason, I don't know what it is, but this guy always has it out for us, bro. And he has Mikel Arteta's number. I think if you look at the head-to-head, it's definitely been more than competitive. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I was a bit nervous leading up to this game just because of the run of form that they had. Do you know what I mean? They were inferior on paper, the most informed team in the league behind us, I think. So do you know what I mean? They've been a mad team. It's not like we lost to just one of these smaller teams. Like Aston Villa have been about it this season. So
I agree.
They definitely were a team to fear in some way. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't like it was a crap team. But yeah, I was feeling nervous. I can't lie, because it's a big game. Do you know what I mean, against Aston Villa, especially for us with the history that we have between them in the last couple of years. Do you know what I mean? It is a big game anytime you play against Aston Villa, because they seem to get riled up when they play against us. Do you know what I mean? It seems like it's a different game. It's personal for them, innit? So
I felt the same way going into it, though. I did feel like every time we play them, it feels a little bit personal for the fan, for me as a fan, because Unai Emery just constantly has our number, and what is it about Unai Emery that has? Why does he always have our number? Do you think he's just tactically outsmarts Arteta, or is it just when we travel away or when they come to us, they just play with a very strong midfield and they flood the midfield? Why is it that they have an advantage over us?
Um,
And he's grabbed my charger, lads. One sec.
I think what it comes down to, partially Arteta has Emery has Arteta's number, but I don't think that tells the full story. I think there's it stems down from the manager, because I think the manager does hold a certain grudge to Arsenal about how he was let go, how it ended at Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? There is a certain grudge, I think, that was held by the manager, and no matter what happens, that will always trickle down to the players. If the manager has a problem with a certain club, that will always trickle down to the players. And I think the fans, do you know what I mean? Our fans can be quite loud at times and be disrespectful to teams, do you know what I mean? Which is standard stuff. So I think that really gathered the feud. The fact that they've ended title races before for us, and the fact that they were, it's just there's been a bit of history there. Do you know what I mean? They have our old manager, so and he's doing well with them. So it's just a multitude of things that all just compiles into one. But I don't think that Arteta's. I don't think that Unai Emery is a bad manager. He's a very, very good manager. That's why it's competitive. That's why he can get the edge over a manager like Arteta. Do you know what I mean? It's not like he's a crap manager. So I can fully understand why he gets the edge over him at times, but at the same time, do you know what I mean? It's a multitude of different things, in my opinion, anyway. The way I see it.
Welcome, Curran and Deo. Hope you guys are doing well. We're currently on the Villa game, and just like before we break down details of the game, it's just what's your thought process before the game, and just were you really surprised by the result, or were you somewhat maybe feeling like it could happen going into it?
Villa have always been a tough team for us. For some random reason, last few seasons, regardless of whatever form we're in, it's almost like Tottenham and City for me. No matter what City does, sometimes it just seems like Tottenham gets the edge on them. Tottenham might lose 4-1 to Arsenal today, but beat City 4-3 tomorrow. And so that's just the thing that I've started hating about us and Villa. Like, I just don't like it. There's something there that stops us from winning at Villa Park. The last 3 years have been very tough at Villa. They've been informed. They're a good team. I would have settled for a point, gladly settled for a point. I think the thing that I'm more irritated at, or let me not use the word, the thing I'm more disappointed at is conceding in the last minute. That's all I'm disappointed at. Everything else, I think we played well enough to actually walk out of there with a draw. Now, a place like Villa Park, if I had gotten a point and walked away from there, I'm not really bothered. I really feel like, yes, they're going to come to the Emirates. We've done our job there, and we know what we can do at the Emirates. Away games are pretty tough. And so, yeah, so most away games, if I can get anything out of it, I'll take it. But having said that, the game itself, if I had to look at what we put on the pitch, we had enough quality there on that pitch to just get that draw and leave. I think just the idea that we can control the game to the last second is where we had a problem. Sometimes you just hoof the ball out, just that's it's like a minute more. Just hoof the ball out to them and then reset yourselves, but don't keep yourselves in your box and allow them to keep shooting the ball. Deflections can happen. Anything can happen. Villa played very, very well. Let's not undercut that. Villa played very, very well. They're a team that have been in form. I think we did just enough for a draw in that game, and we just didn't get it. But yeah, this is what you need a buffer for. This is why a 6 points, a 5 points ahead. This is what you need it for in cases like this, because again, we're just coming off an 18-game unbeaten, like in all tournaments. That's not easy on any team. You will have your downtimes. There's going to be games this season that we're going to lose. There's going to be games that we're going to drop points. But then what we can do is make sure we rack up enough points so that when those happen, we still are in and around the mix or at the top, which is what I like. Because again, if you look at the difference between the points in the league, it's ridiculous. Like, I think United won today, and right now they would be at what? United right now are 6th after beating Wolves today. They've gone up to 6th position. Like, the point is, like, if you win, you can literally just supersede someone.
Yeah, just to show everybody. For example, Chelsea were in 2nd just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
Palace were in 9th recently.
this is what I'm talking about.
Everton are now in the picture in 7th. Like, what the hell? And it just goes to show you, it flips around so much. Like,
yeah, but in 15 games, again, 2 losses, 3 draws. I think this is where we need to start looking at ourselves and saying, well, we need to draw less. That's number one. The losses, 2 losses in 15 games is, for me, I don't think that's a terrible turnaround for a team that wants to win the league. To go invincible is not going to happen to anybody anytime soon. Neither is no team going to win 32 games straight out of 38. I don't see that happening. Again, some of these teams that we're talking about, as tough as they are for us, they'll also be tough for other people who are also trying to win the league. So cities are still going to play the Villas. The Villas are going to play the Crystal Palaces and the Chelseas, and they're all still going to, meet each other. So I'm pretty confident where we're at.
Let's go to Curran quickly before we move on to the actual next topic. A little bit talking more into the game, but individual players more or less. Curran, what'd you think of the game, man? And maybe you should start it off with who do you think was the best performer on the pitch out of the starting 11? Because there was a lot of controversy around Martin Odegaard getting man of the match.
We're gonna lose a game, like it's going to happen. Like it's annoying, and we are, as rightly, we're gonna be annoyed, and it's not really a game where you look back and think, maybe we should have done a bit better in this area and this area. It's one of those games where you look back and you think, well, we've got out of there. We've done another hard away ground now, and we've got to go again at the weekend against Wolves. Obviously, the Brugge game on Wednesday, or is it Tuesday? I can't remember. I think it is Wednesday. But the main thing is that game is super annoying because I think the lineup wasn't great. I think that we didn't really play any runners against a team that tries to push the pitch and to make it smaller. We didn't have anyone running behind. We had 3 ball to feet players. We didn't have a Martinelli or Gyökeres to really push that line back a little bit and give us space to play. And we really were unable to track their runners in terms of having players come inside from wide areas to play centrally between the 2 lines. So I think they played very well. I think everyone's on agreement there. I just think that we have to not go too far extreme in either direction. It's annoying, and it was heartbreaking to have that loss come in the last minute. And at the same point, it's another away ground done. It's another game that we're not going to have to play again. It's another week where we're still top of the table. So I think there's got to be some nuance here and some real honest discussions, and not just everyone. I'm not saying everyone here is doing that, but I think there is going to be that innate ability that comes through the fan base of having the last 3 years to really just lose it and just go crazy and do whatever. And if you want to do that, that's your prerogative. For me, the main thing about this game is it's done. It's over. I don't want to face Unai again until we have to face them at the Emirates, and we play them at the Emirates pretty soon, actually.
Yeah.
So get this game done and move on to the next one. I think that is the main thing, and we're still in a good position, but it's not a position that I would say I like, because I think that we could have really pushed on with that Chelsea game and this game, and really pushed on and really stamped our authority on this league. But we're still in a good position, and we have to just keep going now. And now that Saliba's hopefully back, Gabriel will be back in a couple of weeks.
Is Saliba 100% back? Did you guys hear?
I hear he's back. And come on, to say something real quick to what you just said right now. When I look back at this game, it's a game that, even though we lost in this game, when the league is over, I would be like, that's the game I'd rather lose at Villa away, because it's a tough game.
There is no game I would rather lose.
No. When I mean I'd rather, I'm saying in hindsight, like I get what you're saying. Yeah, I'm saying after it's happened, like of course going there, I don't want to lose. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying, like, when the season is over and I look back at all the games,
I hear it. I
Here
hear
are
it.
the games that I would
Okay,
be like,
so-
all right, this game is one game where I'm okay with us losing there. This is in hindsight, but of course,
They're in a good moment as well. They're in a very
Yeah.
good moment. They're
now that's what I meant
we
by
know
that.
from our experience with Unai, he has these periods where he can go on these runs where he plays very, very well, and then I'm not saying it will happen, but with us it happened. He just fell off when the injuries happened and etc. But we're not here to talk about Villa. We're here to talk about us. The main thing is I think we got the lineup a bit wrong. I think that there were issues in terms of obviously no Saliba, no Gabriel, both. The line
You
drops
think
back a
so?
little bit, so there's
You
different.
think the lineup was wrong? I was a little impressed that we're going to be playing
We can
Odegaard,
discuss it, but
and
I just think
Eze.
that I just think that with when you have a team that's trying to compress the pitch and try to make that mid block and really push the lines and make it tight, you want someone that can run in behind, and we didn't really have that. We had
but we
Saka
also
doing
had
that.
but we had. I mean, okay, maybe we're looking at it from two different perspectives. You're right. We didn't have a runner in behind, but for the first time, I've seen Eze, Odegaard, and Saka. These are three amazing people that can create at any time, right? Against a team that wants to play a low block or mid block, I feel like these are guys who can actually, Eze on the edge of the box, take those shots. Odegaard creating those chances for Saka to run in and cut the ball back for shots to be taken. I thought that would be it, because again, we complain about. I complain about it. Let me not say we, because I speak for me. I complain about us not putting players on the pitch that can create a lot of opportunities for us to score more goals. And when I saw that, I felt like maybe we would be able to do that with those three at least. That would be three, guys running at you, regardless of what you say. Again, there was a Mikel Merino who I feel is technical enough to receive those balls that, Saka cuts back in or crosses in with he's dangerous in the air. He's technical enough to be able to take shots. His one-time shot against Real Madrid last season showed that,
course,
yeah. So I felt like we had
one second, guys. Let me just.
I felt like we had creators, but no, I felt like it just didn't click, because I think that lineup put Gabriel and Saliba in that lineup, and I don't think we concede those goals.
Yeah, because the line is higher up.
Yeah,
the line is higher up, right? And we're pushing the line higher up. The thing is, and the last thing before I put it back to you, these are all well and good points that you're making about the creation and having players that can be technical. But the problem is we're not playing a team that's going to give us opportunities closer to the box. They're going to play the line a bit higher, try to compress the game in the middle, try to make that you're not going to have. That's why I'm saying you need to get a runner in behind to really push that line back, and then you can generate your cutbacks and your crosses and these kinds of things. That was the point I was.
Let me just.
No, you're right. I agree with you on the runner behind. Definitely.
Let me just shift gears slightly, because I want to be more on individuals also. I've seen a lot of people criticizing Martin Odegaard and criticizing the lineup a lot. Now, Dylan, Saad, I want to get you guys involved in this. What do you guys think about Martin Odegaard's performance, and do you think it's kind of overblown some of the criticism about Martin Odegaard in this specific game?
It was good. It's like, look, he's still in the phase. Well, he's pretty much back from injury now, isn't he? But it's good. Over the last 2 years, with how poor he's been, it was good to see him, look a lot better than he has done in the game. I think what would concern me about that Odegaard performance is if I was Eze and all of a sudden I'm like, right, I really need to get my act together, because like that first half from Eze as well, especially, really, Odegaard just went out there and showed him, like, remember, I am the captain of this club and this is what I'm capable of. And if Eze can't, step it up a level from what he was playing the other day, and I get he was playing on the left-hand side, I think Odegaard's gone out there and made a statement, man. He said, look, I am the attacking midfielder in this team. I am the captain. I deserve to be starting, and in my eyes, off that Odegaard performance, I'd say he does deserve to be starting. So if I was Eze right now, the new nearly £70 million signing, I'd be worried, but I'd be like, right, I need to sort myself out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think there's room in both of them, but go ahead, Saad.
I think in the second half he was the best player on the pitch. In my opinion,
it's creating a lot for us.
I'll be completely real. I think the Odegaard hate is, in all reality, spewed from big channels. It dribbles down to everybody, and as soon as it trickles down to everybody, they start to get agendas against players. I genuinely think it's agenda driven. This Odegaard hate is agenda driven. It's not. You can't look at that second half from Martin Odegaard and not.
But that was a game where he performed above what he normally does or has done in the last year or two. In fairness, that is
But last year we understood that he had a bad season, but we
That's what I'm
said
saying.
people said he's not going to replicate that season. He's not going to do a bad season again like that because all the other seasons he's performed to a very high level and a higher standard. So the thing is, yesterday I think he was one of our best players on the pitch in that second half. First half, I think everybody was a bit off. Maybe Declan Rice, but that goes to what Karen was saying about stretching the pitch. I do agree with that. You did need more players to stretch the pitch. I think this game was screaming for a Martinelli, somebody who defensively can do the job, but also like just a runner in behind. That if you're given even a little bit of space, you can have somebody who could just run into and attack that space. Was definitely needed. But in regards to individuals, I think Saka and Odegaard were decent.
What about
Saka,
Zubimendi?
I don't. To be honest, Zubimendi wasn't really.
He did what he was supposed to do. He did what he was supposed to do in that game. Honestly,
Yeah, but
against the mid block side with no runners in behind, and that's where Quran is right. You know,
I am expecting a bit more from Zubimendi. I'm expecting a bit more line breaking passes. There was a few times where runs were made which he didn't take the chance, take the risk. Odegaard runs being made.
But that's the thing. We made very few runs, and here's the thing about making runs.
No, but they did make them though.
No,
they didn't make them.
I'm not saying they didn't make
this
them.
Is the difference, though. Odegaard actually. Let me just say this, yeah. Odegaard against Aston Villa for the first time was taking again. He was doing it before. For the first time again, I saw him taking risks. This guy was shooting from outside the box. This guy was passing when there was a possibility that we could lose the ball. But he was passing the ball, trying to make these line breaking passes, trying to make these little tricky, nice little through balls. I love to see it, and I think Zubimendi.
It's about again, Sad. I hear you. I love to see it too, but is it effective in a game like this? Is what I ask myself. Just because the player is good at that. Again, when you face a certain team and they play you a certain way, your skill set might not be what's going to get you out of there. It probably might just be teamwork, right? That pass the ball through them or go right through the right. Just because he's good at make those passes, if they're not effective, then we don't score with them. It'll look good. I'll be like, Odegaard is back. Hey, Eze is dribbling, but it's not producing what needs to be produced at the end of the day. Being dynamic as a team is what I want this team to be able to do. When they play a mid block like that, and you realize, okay, fine, we're not able to make runs to the back, then let's draw them out. Then let's draw them out. Let's hit them on the counter, or something.
It produces dangerous chances. It's not like
No,
I'm
not saying
those passes produce dangerous chances. Where
I'm not saying my
to get goal.
But again, those chances are harder to convert, is what I'm saying. I'm saying if it's almost like, because I'm good at maybe a particular move in judo, right? But then I fight a guy in my weight category that's very, very fast. I have to be able to nullify his speed before I can apply my technique. Otherwise, he's going to beat me on points. He's going to knock me down on my,
Do you feel like the approach of Aston Villa, they had a lot more midfielders in the game, and it gave them a numerical advantage, and that was one of the main reasons why
they played a solid mid block. Aston Villa played a solid mid block, and again, if we had Gabriel and Saliba, who actually can actually push the pitch up as well, they would have been forced to go back, because Gabriel and Saliba take that risk a lot, where they come up all the way to the center circle passing the ball. So teams start to push back. But because it was Timber and...
Dylan was going to jump on this point. Dylan, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, one thing my mate pointed out to me about the not having Gabriel and Saliba is that it affected Zubimendi so much. We were touching on Zubimendi a minute ago and how he wasn't really doing enough and XYZ, and he seemed a bit quiet in the game. He's not getting the ball off Nketiah and Mosquera anywhere near enough for the way we play. He's dropping deep and he's trying to get the ball off them in the positions where he normally collects the ball, and he wasn't getting the ball off. Sorry, did I say Mosquera? I think Nketiah and Timber, who were playing centre back, he wasn't getting the ball in the position he normally does anywhere near as much as he would normally, which I think massively affected the way he, I'm trying to say, helps us build up play and creates things almost for the Odegaards and the Sakas and the Martinellis. But I don't know. Look, it's just a weird one. Like I said, I think the main thing to take from the weekend is not to lose our heads over the result, because look, the fact of the matter is with Gabriel and Saliba in the team, that is a 1 or 2-0 to the Arsenal, and we wouldn't even be talking about this. And I just think that's the bottom line. I don't think there's anywhere near as much analysing to be done as people are making out.
Yeah.
I just think if we have those two playing, we don't lose that game, don't even concede, and that's and it's kind of been proven. I don't think it's deluded to say that, because look, I am willing to give Villa their credit. Their fans have obviously had a go at me and others for not giving them the credit they deserve. They think, no, you weren't poor, we were just amazing because we're Aston. But no, look, the reality is, as we've seen all season, that when we have those two playing, we are very hard to break down, if not very hard to have a shot on target against. So I think, yeah, like I said, there isn't a lot of analysis needed. I just think with those two, we win the game and we keep a clean sheet.
All right, let's go to Club Brugge. Big rotation needed, in my opinion. This is where...
But it won't be. I'm here to warn you all, it won't be big rotation.
No.
Club Brugge are a top team.
Okay, maybe
They're a
not
top
big
team.
rotation, but at least you need to understand where I'm coming from before we...
No, I know exactly where you're coming from, and I'd like to see the team rotated as well.
Have you seen any of my tweets or anything? We've officially...
Even as someone, there you go, honestly, even as someone who's going to be going to the game, going all the way out to Belgium, I'd much rather he rotate the team. I'm not fussed about winning the game 4-0, 5-0, but he won't.
We're the only team. We're the only team that are through to the knockout phase, and nobody else is through or out yet. So we are currently 3 points ahead of everybody in the table. Everyone, no one's close to us. Even if we were to draw this game, for example, we would still be top come the end of the Champions League week. And my main point is, I've been talking about this for a while. Where is it? I'm not even going to get onto the fat stuff. These people are ridiculous. They're ridiculous.
Oh my God, too funny.
Where is it? It's Norgard. I need to see Norgard at least. I'm saying give Norgard a chance. Give a bunch of these guys a chance. I'm saying this is the opportunity for rotation. And call me crazy, guys. I'm rotating the whole team, maybe making seven or 8 changes.
Rotation is good.
No,
so
hear me out. I'm saying there's obviously I don't think he's gonna go with Miles Lewis-Skelly in midfield. He'd probably go Mikel Moreno. I think the back line would be pretty much the same. Maybe he goes Ray instead of Kepa. The front three probably Madueke, Martinelli, Gyökeres. And we can talk about the lineup and what lineup you guys think is going to happen. But I think this is an opportunity to rest a bunch of players, test them and see what they're actually made of. Give us an opportunity to see who's actually going to be able to contribute in this busy time period and actually get game time now in a game that's not as much pressure. So when there is pressure and we know we know we can rely on, who we can't rely on. I seen Pep Guardiola do a similar thing with Man City versus Frankfurt. Even though he lost, it ended up being a positive for the team because now he knows who he can rely on, and he ended up getting rest.
I don't care what Man City do, what Pep does. I think we need to look at our team.
Deo, don't dismiss my point. My main point.
No, I'm not dismissing it. I'm saying I'm dismissing Man City.
My main point is not about Man City. My main point is about Arsenal and some of these players needing rest. Zubimendi, Rice specifically.
Okay, I hear you. Now, this idea that we know that players need rest as fans is a joke. I think it's a big joke. I think as fans, I say to them, like, I want to see rotation. But again, you have players who are just coming back from injury and actually need a lot more minutes to actually get minutes in their feet so that they can play. You have players who have played a lot, have rested this week, and by the physio's standard, it's like, you need to play another game right now, at least 60 minutes to keep you up to pace so that you can play next week. We just assume that rest makes them better in the following week. All I'm saying is we should be able to right now. We played a closed game midweek. We played I don't know if you know about it, against Manchester United. We played an indoor closed meet where Gabriel Jesus and all these guys played 90 minutes. They said they were looking good. There's players that are looking good that, yes, I would rotate to bring them back for reasons. And there are players who are first-team players that I would play because they need to keep consistency. Muscle tone-wise, endurance-wise, they need it.
Well, don't we need to know what certain players are made of? Like, I want to see what you
do. Yes, you do, but you also have to.
I want to see what Norgard can do. I want to see some of these guys. Because I know what Declan Rice and Zubimendi can do, but I think there is a level of we need to see these guys sometimes playing for Arsenal. So Mikel Arteta can then be like, you know what, I can go out and put them in this game versus Everton away. I can put them in this game versus said team. You know what I mean? And we're gonna have a week coming up during the Christmas period where we play like 4 games in like 15 days.
those
So
are the games where I will definitely do a lot heavier rotation. But right now, because of the
I would rather make rotation now, so you then have.
Yeah, I mean that's fair enough. Fair enough. I understand. I totally understand your position, and I mean I feel like you're making a solid point. I'm
7 or 8 changes in this game gives us an opportunity to actually see what these players are made of, and it's not as detrimental to our season if a negative result happened in this game compared to the Wolves game or
again 7 or 8 changes is me setting that team up for failure already, because I'm asking 8 players that haven't played together before. Igal, hear me out for a second.
You need to put these guys under the fire.
I agree. Hear me out for a second, though. You can't do that. You set them up for failure. Like as a manager, I put 8 new players in the squad, put you out there against a good Club Brugge side, because they're not a dummy team. Just because we're at the top of the Champions League table does not mean we'll take such a risk. Now, you put them out there, you set up 8 players who have not played together as in one game, and then they go out there, and then now you say, I can't trust these guys next time because they failed. This is exactly what will happen if a manager does that. So my point is, still keep some core of the team, introduce 1 or 2 key players again. They're like, these ones, I want to see what you are doing. In the long period where we have multiple games in December, like you said, I'll do the same thing then. I'll play a core team, bring in another person, so I can see if I can trust you with these guys, because you need to be able to play with the first team, but not just putting 8 people. I think it's dangerous. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying we don't need rotation. I'm just saying we have to be wise about how we'll apply rotation.
All right, let me hear from the rest of the boys. Do you guys agree? It's a risk, but would you guys make a big rotate, or would you guys rotate a lot versus Club Brugge?
It's not a risk. It's not a risk because, like you said, we're already through. My point is that we've seen Arteta before with that game in the group stage 2 years ago when we played PSV and we were completely through, top of the group. There was no reason to play a strong team, and he didn't give any of the youngsters minutes, because at the end of the day, you get paid more for winning the Champions League game in this phase than you do for winning the Carabao Cup. And Arsenal's business will want that money, and Arteta will be told to go out there and try and win the game. And at the end of the day, like I said, we also don't want to get embarrassed and lose the game, because you don't want to lose football matches. And he'll be aware that Brugge are a team that have just scored 3 against Barcelona a few weeks back.
They just sacked their manager.
Look, they're still a good side. They're a good side, Brugge. They're not walkovers like Prague, who were easy to get past in the end. Brugge will put up more of a test than that. All I'm saying is, as much as we want to rotate, and I'd like to see rotation, like I said, even as someone who's going to have to go and watch the game, I'm happy to see rotation. I just don't think they will, on the level we're expecting. I don't think you're expecting Norgard to come in, Saka to be dropped, like Gyökeres up front, or maybe even like a Jesus. Well, Jesus isn't fit to play, but you're expecting a lot of rotation, and it's not going to be that. There'll be a couple players in and out of the team, like there was for the Brentford game last week.
At least I don't want to see Declan Rice in the team.
He'll be playing.
I don't want to see Declan Rice in the team.
I don't think Declan will play.
He will play. And look, I'm going to share my screen. I'm just going
our midfield is going to have the same problem as our defense.
Let me have a second here. I'm going to share my screen again. I'll just have a look.
All right.
Okay. So this is the Prague lineup. Okay. So my point is, and as you can very clearly see, our lineup will have some rotation. This is the Prague lineup, right? So Raya, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Hincapié, Wanieri, Norgard, Rice, Saka, Marino, and Trossard. It's semi-strong. There will be some rotation, but it won't be like 8. It'll be like 5, maybe 6. And the reason is Arteta will want seniority in every line. So we had the 2 centre-backs. So he'll probably play Calafiori and Saliba as centre-back. He might play Miles, he might play Hincapié, and he'll probably play White. That'll probably be the back line. He will play Raya. And then you'll probably see an Ethan, this probably be the midfield as well. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Madueke. I wouldn't be surprised to see Gyökeres, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's Martinelli, because Trossard is, he came off of the game. That's my point is he'll want to have senior players in every line. So he'll want to have senior players in the attack, he'll have senior players in midfield, and he'll want to have senior players in defense. So I understand the want to have 8 or 9, and I would love to see a Marley Salmon come in for his debut, or have someone just blood or Josh Nichols or someone come in or Max come on after half time or something just to give him a taste. Love it, but as Dylan said, he won't do that because
let me ask you guys a question. Where do we find time to give rest to two players who've been playing pretty much almost every game in Zubimendi and Rice?
Because we'll take them off mid-game, and we won't play both. We'll play one. It will be Zubimendi or Rice.
I think so. I can see that.
I hope that Rice gets benched. I'll be real.
It will either be, and I'll tell you this right now, and you can clip this, see if it's wrong, whatever. It'll either be Norgard, Ethan, and Rice, or it will be Zubimendi, Marino, and Ethan. Those will be the two midfields.
Yeah.
By the way, I hope it's Norgard because I want to see Norgard get more minutes.
And one more thing. Yeah, and one more thing that I would love to see rotation too, but again, there will be some. There'll be some. Yeah, there will be some, but I mean, I'd say like 8 or 9. I'd say like 5. I just fear that we don't make the mistakes that a lot of these other teams make, where they just filled out like an all new 10 players.
It won't be that.
Yeah,
it'll be 5 or 6. Calafiori will play the 90 because he's not playing at the weekend. He'll probably play at centre back.
And someone like Gabriel Jesus, I don't think we registered him for this period of the Champions League. No. He can play in January. So again, he's back playing, and we can't actually field him in that game. So you see what I'm saying? Like, there's players that you would say, okay, well,
I wouldn't be surprised if it's Gyökeres. It'll probably be Gyökeres.
Yeah, it'll probably be Gyökeres. I'm even just saying, like, we don't even have.
I need Gyökeres goal on Wednesday, by the way.
By the way, the nonsense around Gyökeres is crazy. The guy just came back.
It's not even worth discussing.
No, I'm not talking about weight. I'm just talking about the fact that he just came back from injury. He just came back from injury. He played, 45 minutes, and they're speaking about him as if he had an Ollie Watkins performance. Ollie Watkins was shocking. No, obviously they won the game. No one's going to talk about it, but that was a shocking performance. What Gyökeres did, he didn't really do much wrong. Like, I don't get it. He barely
did anything right though.
He didn't get a shot. We didn't create much.
He was invisible in the game. That's the problem. As a striker, you can't be invisible in the game.
As much as you say that, him being on the pitch, you felt the difference to when Marino was on it.
Yeah, it felt worse.
No, Marino and Eze was shocking in the first half, to be honest.
Marino was bad.
Yeah,
Marino
was bad as well in the first half.
Marino gives you that drop deep, create things, and control the ball in their half.
Yeah, but he was missing passes.
Just hovers in and out of the centre backs, pins the centre back, falls on the floor. If he doesn't fall on the floor, his first touch hits him and bounces 5 meters away, and then he ends up chasing it.
No,
and then he had a half chance to take a shot on the edge of the box, and he just laid it off to Saka or Madueke. I can't remember who, but he had a half chance to really hit it, and he just didn't. He just laid it off. From him, I need to see a bit more. I need to see more killer instinct. I feel like he's lost a bit of his killer instinct.
No, but the thing is, even with Marino had, there was that chance where he dropped in and Saka was running behind and he just completely overhit that pass. Like, you can say, I understand what he does and the role he produces, but he wasn't doing it either. Like, we just had, as I said, it was an off day in terms of the players weren't performing. I think maybe it was fatigue, or they just weren't playing at their highest level, or it just wasn't a good day. But they weren't, and obviously Villa played into our weaknesses very well at the time. So it just wasn't a game where you can look back and be like, okay, that's the Arsenal that I think is gonna go through the entire season. I think that's just
it's a bad day at the office. A good Villa team. So
let's quickly look over to our next couple games, because I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm almost treating this Club Brugge game as a game where we can try to get some players who haven't played and try to get fitness for the try to remain concentrated on what our goals are and rotate as much as possible throughout this period. We're gonna have to find ways to manage these games up until the beginning of the new year. So we got Club Brugge tomorrow on Wednesday. Then we got Saturday, we got Wolves. Then we have a whole week before we play Everton. Then we play Palace on Tuesday in the League Cup quarterfinals.
I didn't realize there's no midweek game next week. That's good.
Then we play Brighton. Then we play Aston Villa. So I'm attacking the Wolves and Everton game with full strength teams, and I'm saying you make minimal rotation or as much more rotation as possible versus Club Brugge, and Palace in the League Cup quarterfinals. We're making rotation in that game too. What are you guys saying?
Yeah, man. Listen, I think the Club Brugge game, the Wolves game, do you know what I mean? We're gonna see Saliba coming back. I think it's gonna look good. Like I said, I wanted to see a few rotations. I hope the rotations don't come heavily in the Carabao Cup game, because I do want us to take the cup seriously. But that's where I can also see some changes coming. I can see our team getting a bit weaker in the Carabao Cup. But listen, the only away game that we're going to have is Everton, which I'm pleased for. All of them are going to be home games. Yeah, I think we got a good run in the Prem right now.
Yeah.
For us to
I mean,
But
I would play the Club Brugge game. I think I would sub in Norgard for like 30 minutes in the end of that game so that he gets minutes on his feet. And then in the Wolves game, I'll start Norgard. I'll let Norgard play the Wolves game and rest and have Zubimendi on the
Yeah,
bench.
I'm not being
Just-
funny, boys. Honestly, it's almost like Bruges is the game to go stronger, and Wolves
Yeah,
is the game where we rest
that's
people.
what I'm.
I watched Wolves tonight. Oh my god, they are awful. Like genuinely, I haven't seen a team that poor in the Premier League for a very long time. I think the worst team I've seen besides that has got to be either the Southampton team of last year or that Fulham team of 2020, 2021. Like those two teams there have to be the worst. And this Wolves team, honestly, I haven't seen anything like it.
Sheffield, bro. They were
Oh,
like,
Sheffield were bad.
No,
Sheffield
this
were bad.
Wolves team is on pace to be the worst team in Premier League history.
It's bad. I just watched the whole game. Like, I haven't watched Wolves a single season. I watched them once, and that was really, really bad.
Hey, you know what? This is a positive end to the year. I'm not even gonna talk about other teams, but if we can just handle our business at home in the Premier League, that Everton game is the one banana skin I could potentially see. You guys
No
know,
chance.
Goodison Park.
Can't be losing or drawing that if we want to win the league. Got to go
Goodison
to Everton and win.
what's
Goodison
which
Park.
one did you say?
It's a night game on Saturday.
Oh, you talk about the Everton game, yeah? You said that's
Yeah.
a banana skin. Oh, man. Well, their stadium's lost it's lost that close combat. Do you know what I mean? That old school feel to it, bro.
Yeah,
Do you know?
yeah, he has. He's right. He's right. Well, one of the things about Goodison Park is it used to be a real battling cage. Like you
Style.
really feel like. I think in a bigger stadium. Look, it's a very loud ground. They've still got the sort of great fan base. They actually recorded this season against Palace. They recorded the loudest ever sound at a Premier League game when Grealish scored that winner. It's a loud stadium, but it's not the experience you used to get at Goodison Park. Let's say we're in such an old school ground. It's not what Arsenal players would be used to. It'll be a much more comfortable experience, I think. And look, if Tottenham can go there and win 3-0, then Jesus Christ, we should be going there and scoring 10. You know what I mean?
Also, I think they've got a bigger field. They've got a bigger pitch, haven't they? So it's
Much bigger pitch. Yeah.
They're trying to get used to it. By the way,
I mean-
should we be worried? Should we be worried about our recent away form? 2 draws and a loss.
it's not. It's really it's poor, but
Again, there's nothing to be worried about. Once we have Gabriel and Saliba back, we'll be walking through everyone. It's as simple as that. There's nothing to be worried about long term. Nothing's going to change. The only thing that's changed is with this bad form is not having Gabriel and Saliba. And when we've got them back, we'll be whacking everyone to pieces again.
You really think it's just that simple?
It's that simple. It genuinely is. It's not only is it the amount of goals we're leaking without them that we wouldn't be if they were in the team. It's also the confidence it gives the attackers. When you have Gabriel and Saliba in your team, it's the confidence it gives you in your head, at the back of your mind, knowing if something goes wrong here, if I don't beat my man, if I don't score this chance, if anything, the amount of pressure it takes off knowing that those two are behind you. You know what I'm trying to say? It takes off so much pressure. It does. It completely changes the way everyone plays. And
also they hold like a very high line. Which is
exactly.
Like,
there's so many aspects to it. And Gabriel scores goals. Gabriel gives us a goal on a corner often.
I miss his corners. His
Yeah.
threat, man. I miss him.
As well.
Hey,
I need Gabriel back ASAP, man.
It's just a case where it's going to be a bit shit for a while. We'll win games, but it's not going to be like we're like blitzing teams and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be a bit shit. With Saliba back, it'll give us that anchor we need in terms of just having him back. And I don't know whether he'll play him and Hincapié at centre back or him and Calafiori at centre back and play Miles on Wednesday, because we won't have Calafiori at the weekend. So we'll see. I mean, I just think it's going to be a bit shit for a while. I don't think that we're looking at a team that's going to. I just hope. Oh, I don't think so. Anyway, I don't think there'll be a massive like a Fulham West Ham of last year, or like one of those 2-game blips where we just lose back-to-back games. It doesn't seem like that team is built like that. Even when you just see how much that draw against Chelsea affected, like we were disappointed to draw that game, and obviously against 10 men and etc. But like it just feels like we're at a level now that it's not about game by game. It's just about creating just getting through this period of the calendar, because that's all it is at this point. Is winter comes and you're playing games every 3 games. You just have to get through the games. Just have to get through it, move on, get through it, move on. It's not like you're the beginning of the season where everyone's coming back and excited to see the team play, or at the end of the season where the pressure ramps up and the games become a bit more of a spectacle. These are just get in, get out. And if we can just get out of here with some form of lead, then yeah, it should be fine.
To be honest, I can't lie. With the injury crisis that we're having, like, listen, man, we're still being competitive to a high level, dominating teams. With the injury crisis that we have on our hands, like, come on, man. So it is something that although it's a bit negative at the moment in the fan base with this one loss, it's still something to be looking at and be like, yo, we do still have a mad squad depth that we're even able to be still competitive, even though we're missing players in the defense. Do you know what I mean? It throws a massive curveball to the team.
No, I just think that there's. Yeah, go on.
I'm just gonna go back to the title race quickly, because everyone's a little bit more. Certain people are more nervous. The people who didn't believe, the people who get caught into all these narratives. Like, obviously, the league's not won and lost in December for us at this moment in time when we're ahead by 2 points. But does Man City being so close to us affect our performances, do you think? Or do you think
No, not even slightly.
We just keep doing our thing?
Yeah, I mean, we've been in this situation too many times to be thinking about what City do and what other people do.
Or using it as an excuse.
No, it's very simple. We didn't have players. And that means the performances dropped a little bit and the standard dropped, and we had a bad day at the office and we lost. It's nothing to do with Man City.
Can I be honest with you guys? The fact that Haaland is coming out in the media and saying we need to stop focusing and thinking about Arsenal just shows me that these guys' heads are not where they used to be.
I didn't know when they.
Yeah, he came out. I saw something on the news about him coming out saying we need to stop focusing on Arsenal. We need to focus on our results, stuff like that. These men are doing what we were doing back in our first title race. Yeah, where we were just constantly looking at every single title, every single game that Man City were going to do. And we're doing calculations of if they do this run and if they lose this game and we win that game, we might be like this. If these players are thinking too much about our games and what we're doing, do you know what I mean? For me, it's not the same City that was before. Do you know what I mean? They're not the same team that they were before. They haven't got De Bruyne, who makes me shit my pants, because I know that he's a baller and I know that he can just all of a sudden at a drop of a hat, like he can just run a game and just win it for them 2-3-0. Do you know what I mean? By either assisting or scoring goals. So it's just not the same City for me. In my opinion, I think they have Haaland, which is a mad dangerous player. Foden is looking all right now, but listen, it's not the consistency. This isn't there. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't look like they have consistent performances where they're constantly running down teams and just lacing them. Do you know what I mean?
Even if they do, right? One of the things that I'm a little more optimistic about this season is the fact that 2 seasons ago, when or 3, I think it was 2 or 3, 22-23 season where we were 8 points ahead, right? And City caught up. I keep reminding people that you do remember that by game week 30, City had 2 games in hand in that season. And the City of that year, we were definitely sure they're winning those 2 games in hand, which for me meant that technically for me at that time, I looked at it and said, we're just 2 points ahead of them. That's the way I looked at it. And that's where we are right now. The difference is we're more mature now. This Arsenal team looks like a team that, yes, one loss, they're going to come back and win again, take a break, come back in January, and we can do what we did last season or the season before. We went on a mad run, 14 out of 16 games. And let's just see if we can pull stuff like that out of the hat.
We're gonna have to go.
Yeah, but this City game doesn't panic me right now. Like I don't really care what they're doing. I just care more about what we are doing to get 3 points in the next game and how fluid we can be.
Boys, I'm just gonna say this. Honestly, at this moment in time, I don't even listen to some of the narratives and agendas. I just sit back and laugh to myself how everything swings in roundabouts. And there was a quote from Saka. He said, "People change their mind about Arsenal like the weather." So we just know what it's gonna be. We just need to keep ticking away, and we just need to keep doing our thing, man. The perfect game after a loss is to face the bottom of the table team, so you can just gain some confidence back and just do what you need.
Bro, these Man City have got a dangerous game, bro. Firstly, we play first against Wolves. If let's say, for instance, we go out and slap Wolves 3-0, yeah? Let's just say, for instance, we go and slap Wolves 3-0, yeah? These men have got to go to Selhurst Park against Crystal Palace, yeah, away, after coming back from an away game at the Bernabeu. Like, come on, bro. Do you know what I mean?
They got Real Madrid away this week.
Yeah, apparently Xavi's gonna get sacked if he loses.
Madness.
They got to go to the Bernabeu, then come back, and then if we win our game, that applies more pressure onto that Selhurst game, bro.
By the way, just to tell you, the Real Madrid team has a similar injury to us defensively with the amount of players that they have out injured in their defense. They played a game this week where they had 2 players sent off and they ended the game with 9 men.
Yep.
So certain people don't realize the level of stress it has on your team when you have that many defenders out injured.
Yeah. No, but the thing is, right, I think we're just getting too caught up in this whole situation. I think that we're still top of the table. We're still doing okay. We still have players coming back. We still have a lot to be looking forward to and a lot to really digest in terms of what we've done so far this season. I think people need to calm down a little bit. I'm not saying don't be upset, because that was an annoying performance, annoying lineup, annoying way to lose the game. Be upset. I was pissed. It sucked. But like, the main thing is that nothing really has changed. Like, we've still got a lead at the top. We're still playing all right football. We'll get better when Saliba comes back and when Gabriel comes back, and when all these Havertz and etc. come back, it will get better. So I'm not looking at this right now and thinking, okay, so we need to buck our ideas or something. It's December, bro. Like it's like, I don't know what we need to discuss here. Like I know we have to do these discussions and have these discussions, but for me, it's just like, I want the next game. I want to talk about the next game. I want to talk about what we're doing. I want
to forget about the Villa game. I get it.
No, it's not even forget about it. It's just like, accept that it happened and move on.
Facts.
Anyways, like it's not anything. Like, accept that there were issues with the team. Accept that there were mistakes made with the lineup, mistakes made on the pitch. Why was Hincapié not able to use his weak foot there? Why did we have players that weren't making good decisions at times? Why did Arteta not start any runners? Like, there's a lot of issues that happened that game, but accept it happened and move on. Because it's not like we're in a position now where it's like we've got 5 points off the leaders and we need to really start thinking about this. We're still at the top of the table, and we still got games coming.
Final, Karen, that's the thing.
No, but the thing is, right? It's another away game, another away day that we've ticked off. I mean, Dylan goes to a lot of them. I love your stuff, by the way. Stuff is great, man. But the amount of away days that we've done already, Anfield, Old Trafford, we've done Villa Park now, Newcastle. We've done a lot of these away days, and we're going to come, and they're going to have to come to us now. There's 2 Big 6 games left.
No one wins at the Emirates.
Away. Spurs, because sure, and City.
And people act like away games are easy. They act like
I don't care about whether they're easy or not, but the fact is they're done.
No, but Curran, let me get to my point, because I understand that certain people are stupid, but they don't actually look at like the actual form table and of away games and everything, and how many teams from the whole league just drop points away from home. Like at home, obviously we're really good. We don't lose many games at home. We've drawn one game at home, but then away from home, we've dropped points in 4 games. That's the issue.
But the thing is, and people forget that City also have to do, because City, let's be real, are the main contenders here. We're not considering Chelsea.
The only contenders.
That's only contenders. So Chelsea have to do. I mean, they start the new year playing Chelsea. I think they have a lot of away. They have a lot of away days left. They haven't done, and as that table you showed there, they haven't been a great away from home either. Like that Fulham game was crazy. So
even the Leeds game.
The Leeds game, like it's like, I just think that there's it like, as I'm gonna keep saying it, the weekend happened, but the weekend happened and it happened. We're still quite clearly the favourites to win this league, and I don't think there has ever been a time that we are clearly the favourites, apart from 22-23 early on when we had the 50 points. But even then, everyone was like, "Well, this is crazy. There's no way they can keep this up." And they had the World Cup. Jesus went down, and what happened. Yeah. So
you know the good thing is some of the toughest games that we have remaining are
at home.
Are at home, or so late in the season that it could actually be like the league could.
Yeah, like that Man City game at the Etihad, for example. I'm hoping that we probably won't have mathematically won it by then, but knowing like we can lose to you and make sure we win next week and we're winning the league. You know what I'm trying to say? Like knowing we've won the league. Knowing we've won the league.
One of the toughest away grounds is Crystal Palace away, but that's the last game of the season.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they've won it by then again, like you said. Yeah. I
want
to go to the Etihad knowing we've won the league. Like even if it's not mathematical, I want to go there knowing like whatever happens in this game here, it'll be a bonus if we win it. We've won the league. Hopefully,
you know what I want it to be like. I want it to be like the opposite of what happened with the 2023 season, where it's like this is their last chance
to like do something. This game. We have
to win this game, and the pressure we just scam a draw there or something, and it's over. That would be, I think, the ideal situation where, and I think pretty realistic as well, because it is still April. That game, it's not like it's like May. You know what I mean? It's not like...
Short, people are saying they're in the driver's seat because if they win all their games, including that game, they win the league. But there's no chance Man City or any team is just going to go and win every game from here on out.
What has Man City done to make you think that they can go on this streak? I know everyone says, "Oh, well, he does it all the time." Well, I'm sorry, but
different City team. Their defense is horrendous now.
Their defense is not great, and they don't look like they're buying a defender in January. I don't think. If they are, then fair play. But
I think it's just people basically. Certain people just don't believe Arsenal have this.
And that's fine. That's their opinion. That's absolutely their opinion, and they're more than welcome to have it. The point is that at this moment in time, I see nothing to be like, okay, this is something we need to talk about. We're clearly the favourites. We're clearly still have that 2-point lead. We're still going through and chugging along quite nicely, and we have injuries coming back.
Yeah, we're gonna end it off here, but I'm just gonna say, in a week's time, guys, we could be back 5 points ahead.
Who knows what we could be? We could be 1 point behind. It doesn't matter. Like we're just gonna have to go and see what the situation is, like in January, in February, etc. Like it's a long way to go. So it's not over dramatize this just because we lost a game.
All right, let's keep it moving. You guys have a wonderful day. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Big up Dylan, thank you. Big up Saad, Karan, of course, Deo, who's already left, and shout out to everyone in the comment section. Stay level-headed, boys and girls, and don't lose yourself in these agendas that people run, because at the end of the day, there's going to be people who don't like Arsenal, and so be it. We just keep doing our thing.